Hey, everybody, welcome to Did You Hear About This? I'm Bill.
I'm Scott.
All right, we're going to try something a little different today.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm in store for.
I discovered something that I enjoy so much, and it's a rabbit hole. And usually you say, hey, what are you watching? We like to talk about what we're watching.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm watching this thing, and what I'd like to do is watch the first episode with you.
What are the chances of me falling into this rabbit hole as well?
I don't believe you know about this, but there's definitely a chance you're completely educated on it.
I can't wait.
Do you want to know what it is?
No, I kind of just want you to hit play, unless you have to set it up.
No, I can just hit play.
Do you know what rabbit hole I went down this week? Not to take you off topic of this, but I've been so invested in watching bands of different genres play a different type of music cover. Like, I watched the drummer from Dream Theater, listen to System of a Down for the first time without drums, and then he had to, do the drum part.
Oh, wow.
And it was actually pretty amazing, how similar it was for a song he'd never heard before.
Oh, send me those links. I want to check that out. That's fascinating.
What's it called? Musicora or Drumeo, or it's they're all part of the same, online music lessons that you can take. It's like a subscription you can get, but they do these things where there's probably 20 different videos out there where they take bands I never heard of. But it was one was an emo band listening to Fleetwood Mac, and one was a death metal drummer listening to Led Zeppelin. And I was like, how the fuck can you be a musician never heard of Led Zeppelin before? I can't believe this is your first time hearing Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that's a little suspect.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had to have heard that. I mean, maybe not since you're a death metal guy now, but come on, you sure as shit didn't come up not knowing who Led Zeppelin was.
Right. It's like when that band Greta Fleet, you know them?
Yeah.
They sound a lot like Led Zeppelin. Somebody came up to them and said, have you ever heard of Led Zeppelin? And they went, no, who's that?
That's such bullshit.
They were totally fucking around, but everybody, the media took it
Isn't it
these
Greta
guys.
Von Fleet?
Is it?
Yeah, there's 3 names. I think it's Greta Von Fleet.
Oh, something like
They're
that.
good, though. I mean, good vocalist. He does sound a lot like Plant.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
And the idea that he never heard of him is such bullshit.
I like that he kept it going for a while. Who? Led what?
So I've been watching a lot of that and a lot of true crime documentaries.
True crime stuff. Ooh.
Yeah.
Just watch the new Daredevil. Yeah, it's like Law and Order, SUV.
Oh, I didn't watch the 3rd episode yet. That came on last night or Tuesday night. I didn't watch it yet, but I'll have to check that out. All right, man, I'm excited. Let's hit play and see what this is all about.
All right, I just need a second to set up.
While you set up, I did get a mailbag.
Mail, motherfucker!
A suggestion for an episode. It would be very similar to our eggnog episode, but we do hot sauces.
Oh, I've been watching some of that guy's hot sauce show.
Oh, Sean Evans? Hot
Yeah.
ones? Okay.
I watched Lady Gaga the other day.
Lady Gaga?
She was pretty good. I watched Bill Murray do it.
Bill Murray didn't flinch at all.
Not at all. He was completely accustomed to hot sauces.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
With the surprise appearance of Pete Davidson that came on for the last wing.
Yeah.
And he was his face was melting.
He couldn't handle one wing.
Well, it's been suggested that we do that. And I said, I have no problem with hot food. I'm very good at handling hot food. I don't know how you are.
I used to be great, but now that I'm getting older, I kind of avoid it. Oh, this isn't a bad idea, but we're all going to have black poop in the next, for the next week.
Shit in flames. So far, I'm glad it's YouTube and not Tubi. I was afraid what rabbit hole you were taking me down. Spider-Man in subtitles.
This is Japanese Spider-Man from 1978. And I would love your commentary through this entire thing.
I'm loving this so far. Between the dark valleys of buildings.
Yeah, these are the subtitles.
Spider-Man.
These are the subtitles for the lyrics of the song of the show. The intro.
Eyes sparkle with the flash of anger. Giving up peace. Giving up everything. Chasing evil through the skies. Change the apart on? What's that?
You'll see. Here it comes. Soaring into the
Oh my
scene.
god, there's a Megazord.
It's a Megazord. All right. This is an actual Transformer in this Spider-Man show.
This looks like Spider-Man meets Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You got it.
Is any of this licensed by Marvel?
Yes.
Oh, I love the English. The Japanese lounge singer.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so as this thing runs, we're going to talk a little about it.
Where can listeners find this?
YouTube. So I'll make sure that I put this YouTube link in our show notes.
Perfect.
So it's Spider-Man, aired from May 1978 to March 14th, 1979. There's 41 episodes of this and one movie.
41 episodes.
And look how dark it is. Like already, it's not Spider-Man at all. We're zooming in on somebody's eyes and there's a spider hanging and we're in a cave. Come Marvel or whatever that thing is, it's a giant ship. The whole thing is a sci-fi show.
Wow.
Produced by the Toei Company.
So he's the one that did Godzilla.
I don't think they did Godzilla. I know they did Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really?
They may have done Godzilla.
I thought they did.
TOEI?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And it ran on the Tokyo Channel 12, which is now TV Tokyo. Not that I go to Japan and know what TV Tokyo is.
Now we got dirt bikes.
All right, so this is our Peter Parker, but this isn't Peter Parker. This is a character named Takayuya Yamashiro, and he's a motorcycle racer. This is almost more like Ghost Rider than actual Peter Parker. So the scene here is him riding around and somebody's taking his picture. The person taking the picture is almost like the Mary Jane here, and instead of Peter Parker being a photographer, it's this character, and she's the photographer.
But he's getting telekinetic messages from the Marveler, which is this spaceship coming in?
Yes, you got it. So this spaceship comes flying in. They see it. They can't believe it. Everybody sees it. They can't believe it. What's a spaceship that just flies in?
Godzilla!
So you can know right away that this is going right into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of zone.
Oh, it crashed into the mountain.
So I got here, the Spider-Man series had little to do with the original Marvel comic version, and instead was reworked to fit Japanese style. Stan Lee helped to make the deal, but expected it to never leave Japan. Marvel originally hoped this would help the Spider-Man franchise grow. Yeah, because Spider-Man wasn't a big deal in Japan at all. Look at this character. This is the main bad guy. Some kind of weird, like half
it's like
Dr.
a cyborg.
Doom. Yeah, he's like a cyborg. Where you see half this, it's like a RoboCop, but you see the left hemisphere of his face.
It's like a Phantom of the Opera that was made by the supercomputer in Superman 2.
Superman 3.
Yeah. Brainiac.
So this show was so popular in Japan that it created or led to the creation of a show called Super Sentai. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of Super Sentai. I don't know it, though.
I don't either, but whatever Super Sentai is, that's what led to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So this show directly
that's how
influenced.
I know of it. Because the fight scenes, like with the
Wait a minute. So we're missing so much already.
I'm sorry.
No, that's good. It's good. There was a little monster that she now has put into her purse.
Yeah.
And they have to go retrieve that ship that just crash landed onto Earth. Just like the ship kind of looked a little like the Transformers ship that crash lands onto Earth. So, and she also poses as the editor-in-chief. So she's secretly the bad guy at the newspaper. So now you're caught up.
The editor.
Yeah, the editor. So she sends the reporter, the Mary Jane character, to go try to find where this thing crashed.
But yeah, Super Sentai, to go back to that was all of the scenes of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, basically everything that wasn't at the high school, that was also used and originally filmed for Super Sentai in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. Like that footage of like the Zords and the big monsters and the fighting over top of the city and like the mouths that didn't move and the armor, that was all used for dual purposes for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the States and Super Sentai over in Japan.
I never knew that. So all the karate that you saw on Mighty Morphin Power, that was all Japanese stuff, and they just stitched it together with American actors.
Correct. And then they'd slip away to like Angel Falls high school bullshit with like the soap opera type stuff in between for the American audiences.
I never knew that. I assumed all that was filmed in America.
Yeah.
But now that you say that, yeah, it did look this way completely.
Yeah.
Like the moves, and you guys are listening, can't watch it, but I highly recommend you go watch this thing on YouTube. The karate, everything that you saw so far in the introduction, like it's that super exaggerated, silly looking dance, choreography karate.
So now this ship is talking to him, calling him brother. Or is the spider talking to him?
All right, so there's a character that we haven't been introduced yet who's buried in the rock.
So he crashed on the ship.
So I think the ship crashed. It's really hard to follow, man. I think the ship crashed into the cave where this secret character is calling to our Peter Parker.
There's the monster, huh?
Yep. Whoa!
Oh, very Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Is that what they did in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? They took something small that could fit in your pocket and
make my monsters grow. Yeah, Rita Repulsa would do that shit, remember?
I barely watched that show.
Okay. You're older, you wouldn't have watched that. Oh, he's having auditory hallucinations. He's driving a motorcycle?
Yep. Not good. And everywhere he looks, he sees spiders, and the spiders are talking to him. Come see me. Come to me, brother. Calls him brother.
He sees a giant spider web in the sky.
Yeah.
It's time for revenge. Bro, what's wrong?
Bro. So the main villain is Professor Monster.
That's the guy with the cyborg guy?
Yep. His name is Professor Monster. Real creative. He's the leader of the Iron Cross Army.
Is that his name, or is that just a bad translation, do you think?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look at this thing dancing around.
This guy's like a giant alligator monster in armor.
The show features a Monster of the Week kind of motif. Like every episode, Spider-Man would fight a new monster.
Yeah.
There's a later episode that I haven't gotten to yet where he's fighting the Thing.
Like Ben Grimm's The Thing?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be a Japanese wrestler, professional wrestler who turns evil for some reason. So I saw some footage of the Thing Spider-Man fight. It's unbelievable.
Now he just found his father laying on a rock for some reason?
Yeah, it kind of ties in why he's involved in all of this.
Is this like the Uncle Ben moment?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, in a way, it absolutely is.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I wonder if Stan Lee was like, listen, you're going to have to do an Uncle Ben thing in this. I didn't even make that connection watching this episode the first time.
Did that monster kill his dad?
The editing is really choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what's going on. You sort of have to fill in the blanks with your imagination. With imagination.
Imagination.
I like this. He looks at he sees all these dinosaur footprints. Those are dinosaur tracks, he says.
He just knew that right off the bat. Oh, shit, we got ninjas.
Here comes the Iron Cross. When do you see these guys?
This is like the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
These are just guys to get their asses. These are like the Star Trek guys in the red shirts. These are just guys to die.
Right, exactly. And look, they look like little...
Oh, shit.
Okay, a little stab in the neck. Little scratch. That's basically what happened to our Peter Parker here. And he's being chased by the Foot Clan, which look like they're wearing little duck beaks.
Yeah.
And he falls into a cave. Look how cheap this cave is. Instead of having real rock, they just have gray sheets to make it look like rock, to make it look like he fell into a cave.
That's fantastic. And some dust. And a spider.
And
It's like
another
the Bat
spider.
Cave. The Bat Cave. But now it's the Spider Cave.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure Batman, the 60s Batman show, is something that they probably looked at. Like, how do we make a superhero show? Well, how did the Americans make Batman?
Right. So now we met Garia.
So that's who's been calling to him. Garia has been in this cave for hundreds of years. And as he meets Garia, he dies from the knife wound to the neck, which is really just a scratch. And there's only one way to bring our Peter Parker back.
Spider extract.
So Garia puts his giant oversized wristband onto our Peter Parker, and it squirts some whatever that looks like venom. It's a really bad special effect.
It has a built-in syringe in the wrist bracelet.
Yep. And that's it. That's how. Oh, commercial
is the
break.
Spider car coming yet?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Back from the commercial break. I like that. They cut out the commercials for us. So there's our Peter Parker. He's back.
He's completely healed.
Instead of being bit by a spider, that's how he gets his powers.
So what's Gary's tie to spiders? Do we ever find out?
I think he's from the planet Spider or something like that. I mean, there's really no creativity in this at all.
I was hoping it was going to be something better than that, but I had a feeling that was going to be your answer.
So while they're having their deep conversation, Gaia and Peter Parker, whose name I'm just going to call him Peter
There
Parker.
it is. Planet Spider was invaded by Professor Monster.
Yeah, explaining the backstory. So the show gained a cult following and is considered an essential piece of tokusatsu. Do you know what that means?
No.
I think that's what they call that kind of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger
Okay.
fiction.
Okay.
So in 2009, this Spider-Man was officially added to Marvel Comics canon as part of the Spider-Verse multiverse, Earth 51778. The character appears in Spider-Verse comics and was teased in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse finally featured Lee Pardon, which we're going to meet in a minute, and the Peter Parker here, Taikayu Yamashiro, in the background. So if you ever go back to watch In the Spider-Verse,
Gonna have to now.
these guys are in it.
No shit.
Yeah, we just didn't even know.
I thought the anime spider was the girl with the spider robot.
That was probably inspired a bit by this. Why not?
I guess. So this guy was alive for 400 years, meets this guy, heals him, and now he's dead.
And just passes away.
Did he just like pass the mantle on?
Watch this.
He just
Disappears like Obi-Wan.
Takuya has been given the power of the spider. Oh, there's a
He
spider
turns
there.
into a spider, yep. So he's now going to hang around and whisper into Peter Parker's ear as a spider.
Did we get a Jimmy Olsen?
No Jimmy Olsen. The closest we get is that Mary Jane character.
Okay.
Her.
That's his sister.
Yeah,
Ever since Dad died.
The thing is choppy. Man, I can't tell who's who.
I hope this is not his love interest.
I haven't seen a love interest yet, so...
I think this is his sister, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. When you're in a pinch, use the thing on your arm to call the Marveler. Inside is the Spider Protector. Put on the Spider Protector and become Spider-Man, the spider says. Now, the Protector.
Oh shit, it just shot out a spider and it just freeze-framed in place. That was spectacular.
So now he's dressed as Spider-Man in his bedroom.
There's
Look at
no
him.
way he put that suit on
Look
without
at-
going over top of that bracelet.
Look at him crawling around. Look, he's jumping.
Look at the agility.
He's loving this suit. He just did a
Backflip.
backflip. It looks pretty good. I got to be honest.
It looks like Spider-Man.
It's not a bad looking Spider-Man.
1978. I've
Yeah.
seen worse Spider-Man after this.
There he goes, crawling the walls already.
Oh shit. Where'd he go? Yeah, you didn't see him up there.
He's hiding on the
Are
ceiling.
you kidding me?
You see this all the time, even in the new Spider-Man movies. He's
But
just
it's-
hanging out on the ceiling and nobody ever thinks to look up.
It's like an 8-foot ceiling. Like, I would have seen something out the corner of my eye.
Your peripheral vision would have seen something red. Yeah.
So because he avoided the sight of his nephew and his sister, he fully became Spider-Man. That was like the first test?
That was his first test.
Oh my god.
All right, he shot his first web,
But
which
that's
is
like a straight up rope.
just a white rope. Yep. So the action in this is not so good. Like I said earlier, it's choppy as hell. The editing is really sketchy editing. But the action's so bad that they have to like film a shot of him swinging on a rope, and they must have filmed it with like 3 or 4 different cameras because all of a sudden they'll show the same swinging from like different angles, or they'll take the same shot and just show it a couple times. It's pretty bad.
Oh, the freeze frames are great.
Yeah. So now there's just random footage of him climbing around in buildings in Japan.
I do love like the crime fighting, like 70s cop drama music in the background.
Sounds good.
It's like Chips. Got that funk.
There he goes.
There it is.
His spider sense was tingling, so he's swinging to see what the tingle was about.
The duck beaks.
The Iron Cross clan with the duck. See, there we go. We get 4 consecutive, exactly the same swings.
And this runs for what, a half hour?
Yeah, less than that. You listening at home, we're saving you all the pauses of us being in shock based on what we're seeing.
Oh my god, yeah. So special effects wise, what do you think they did here?
I think they had him on a rope and had him kind of falling backwards, but pretending to climb, and then they just reversed the tape. Yeah.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Because what I read is they filmed 2 episodes a week. So they had no time for elaborate special effects at all. They just had to improvise. And any cheap trick that they could pull off, like him jumping around right now, That's what they took advantage of. Just, holy shit, you're seeing Spider-Man. Not good special effects.
Who are you?
Not
An
good
emissary
editing.
from hell, Spider-Man.
Yeah, he does say that. I'm an emissary from hell.
He's just crawling around the ground.
Now we see him just, scuttling around.
Now, is that woman the alter ego of the Daily Bugle editor?
Yeah, now I'm putting it together after watching. This is only the second time I've seen this with you.
Okay.
So she's the Mary Jane character.
Mary Jane or the editor?
The editor, the editor-in-chief is the bad guy.
He's the bad, yeah. So that's her alter ego right there with the hair down. But the one that's here with the Iron Cross, I think that's the editor-in-chief.
Right.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
And they're just doing somersaults. Like, this is, their fight style is somersaults. It's dancing. They're just dancing.
They kicked him in the face.
There's the editor-in-chief.
That's who I was talking about, yeah.
And there's her little guy that she's going to grow.
Boncuria. Oh, here comes the alligator with the axe arm.
Oh, yeah, this definitely looks like Power Rangers now.
Yep.
Now that you say it. Spider-Man's crawling away from this alligator monster.
Oh, shit, he banged his head against the wall and he's shaking the whole mountain. He grew even bigger.
Now he's huge.
Yeah, what's coming next? Time to call the Zords, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he swung him around. That's like a G.I. Joe figure on the end of his fishing string.
Pretty much. It's great.
Marveler, that's right.
All right, here comes the Marveler.
Not a Zord, but a Marvel.
So the ship that was in the rocks has now come out of the rocks. It's flying over as the giant monster is scaring everybody.
Oh, first it shot out a little, like, car for him to ride. Is this a spider car?
You got it. Here comes Spider Car. He hops into Spider Car. Slick looking car.
It really is. It flies, too.
It's got missiles. Very on brand for Spider-Man.
I'm thinking, did the writers ever watch Spider-Man? Like, Stan Lee was involved with, like, brokering a deal. Oh, shit.
So the car is flown into the Marveler. He says, Marveler, change to Leopardon. So for some reason, the Marveler spaceship was a Jaguar of some sort, but now it's transforming into a giant robot. Now it's definitely Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
This is at least GoBots.
Yeah. I mean, look at how crappy that looks.
Yeah, it kind of had a head like Voltron.
A little bit.
Oh, you're in for it now.
I mean, it literally looks like the Voltron robot with just a little bit of spider web on the chest plate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only relation this robot now has to anything Spider-Man.
Oh, he shot off his forehead thing. Oh, he got armor.
Yeah, now
This guy puts his... Oh,
there's a
pulled the
sword.
sword out of his leg. I thought he was going to put his arms together and do the old Voltron where the sword comes out of nowhere. There it was. One shot.
Remember, we're watching a Spider-Man show.
One shot kills.
The greatest enemies of the Iron Cross Army have emerged, the bad guy says.
Keep coming, Iron Cross Army. I will keep fighting. Don't lose, Spider-Man. To be continued.
That's it. That's episode 1.
This was like the pilot of this whole thing.
It was the pilot.
Holy shit. I mean, I kind of, with the car, I'm kind of getting Speed Racer vibes.
Yep.
But very much Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Voltron. Anything with like a droid like that. One thing I'm not getting? Spider-Man.
Not at all. It feels so not Spider-Man-like, except for the few minutes where he's swinging around. Like, there he's shooting. We're watching the end credits now. He's shooting some webs and things like that. Like, there is a little bit of Spider-Man. But I'm surprised Stan Lee wasn't like, listen, we need a lot more Spider-Man. Because that's all he was trying to get. He was trying to get Spider-Man known in Japan. So he wanted to obviously sell comic books. So the Japanese would probably be like, well, let me go get these comic books. Hey, there's no giant robots in the comic books. Why would I pay for these? So I'm surprised he didn't try to say, all right, we want you to stay more on brand with Spider-Man and other Marvel characters. Nah, They just decided every episode it was going to be a monster that gets big.
Oh, shit. Next episode, a freight train capsizes carrying jet fuel.
I don't know how much it's going to cost me to find this entire episode series, but I'm going to pay it. I don't know that YouTube has all of these.
God damn. So there were 41 of them. And oh, shit, I even got the Marvel logo at the end.
I think somebody threw that on there.
Oh, okay. So Stan Lee brokered the deal between Tohei and, or Tohei, how do they say it? Tohei, right?
Tohei, yeah.
So Stan Lee brokered the deal between Tohei and Marvel with the goal to sell more comics, like you said.
Probably.
Do you think he stayed on as a creative director or had any say as to what went into this show?
I doubt it.
I can't imagine he did.
I'm sure it was just he flew in, he kind of got this thing going a little bit, then went back home and just hoped it would make him some money down the line.
Like, I don't even know that he would have had the input to put in, like, the Uncle Ben moment there, because so much of traditional Japanese storytelling involves, like, the death of an ancestor that needs revenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very common tropey thing for Japanese films. It just so happens to be the Uncle Ben father figure happened in Spider-Man, but I think that's probably just more of a coincidence than anything.
You don't think that was like, hey, this will fit perfectly into Japanese culture because of the Uncle Ben story?
I don't think so, because why would they take that and nothing else from Spider-Man?
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I had so much fun watching this. I'm so happy to know that there's more out there.
I almost wonder, like, if you just would have showed me that the first 10 minutes and just no subtitles and just said, what do you think we're watching right now? Would I have even been able to come up with Spider-Man until he just popped out that Spider-Man costume from his wristband?
Guarantee you wouldn't have.
No way.
Oh, that would have been, let's do this again.
Well, now it's already out of the bag.
Forget everything you saw somehow.
Let's get drunk. I'll try this again.
Well, there you have it. Japanese Spider-Man.
Japanese Spider-Man. I thought for sure this was going to be like not sanctioned, not licensed, not anything from Marvel.
No, it's the real deal.
God damn.
Yeah.
I also don't think I would have guessed 78. Like, it was actually not terrible, except for like the freeze frame action things, but the camera was clear. It wasn't like fuzzy. I feel like cameras got worse in like 83, 84.
It felt about 78 to 83
You
to
think
me.
so?
Yeah, it definitely falls in. I could have been fooled to think it was maybe 82 or something like that.
It was brighter colors than what I'm used to seeing in like early 80s, late 70s television. But yeah, definitely a darker tone than what Spider-Man would have typically had.
I know. The intro music's translation. I mean, the words they were singing in that intro, that's ridiculous. None of what they were putting into that intro sounded Spider-Man-ish.
Again, like, is it what they were really saying, or is it just a bad Google translation type thing? You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Well, very good. I'm very entertained by that.
Well, I thought, this would be an experiment to see if it plays well on the recordings. We don't know till you edit it.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So if you're all bored to death, so sorry. But at least we told you about something that you need to go look up on your own. Just everybody, please go find this thing. Again, I'm going to put the link in the show notes, but you got to watch this. It's unbelievable.
I'll say this. With the success of Squid Game, we know you don't mind reading subtitles. So if you're going to read subtitles, you might as well watch something this goddamn ridiculous.
That's right. Yeah, great. Well, I don't know how long the show is actually going to be. The time of recording, we're 30 minutes in, so I got some news stories. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news right now.
Let's do it.
And I was reading the news thinking, we haven't really done this segment in a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
And a lot of the things that we've talked about are back in the news. For example, we were talking about the Snow White thing.
Oh, yeah. Disney really walked this back as far as the premiere. Like, they only invited like an in-house film crew and like some like print media outlets, but they're not doing a full-blown red carpet because there's all kinds of controversy around Gal Gadot being like pro-Israel and the other girl being pro-Palestine.
Right.
And like they keep putting all kinds of messages out. Who's the girl that played Ziegler?
Rachel Ziegler.
Rachel Ziegler. She put out a thing after the election saying like, I hope Trump and Trump supporters and Trump voters never find peace. And then she tried to walk that back. And they're just out there saying all kinds of shit that's just Everybody's against this fucking movie. Peter Dinklage was like, we're going to make this more inclusive and make this more empowering. You're still going to have 7 dwarfs. Like, why don't we look at what we're doing here?
Yeah.
And like, there's just so much negativity around this goddamn thing.
I started to wonder if it was even going to come out.
I thought this was going to be one that they were going to just shelve or delete or write off or whatever. But yeah, I hear the premiere really got, it was like a midday premiere that they really walked back. Now, Ziegler and Gal Gadot were there. Gal Gadot plays the evil witch or the evil queen, I guess.
Right.
They were going to be there, but they did not open it up to all media outlets like they typically do with the premiere.
So I heard Gal Gadot did not show up.
No shit, I didn't hear about that.
What's the date today?
Today's the 13th.
All right. I think I also read the premiere is on the 15th, so I don't know. The news is all screwed up from what I'm reading here.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's been doing media tours. I think she was on like Good Morning America the other day. So it's not like she's not out promoting it.
Just imagine the nightmare. You're trying to put out a movie. Mark Webb is the guy that directed
Yeah.
this. He did some of the recent Spider-Man movies.
He and Ziegler were over in Spain promoting this.
Just
I read.
imagine how many years you put into this, and then all of a sudden the cast opens their mouth and says something that just rubs people the wrong way. And then boom, I read that it got 1 million down votes on YouTube.
Well, remember the first time it came out, like the CGI on the graphics was so goddamn terrible.
Yeah.
Yee.
Yeah, how do you get out of this mess? You just got to put it out. You got to let it sail. You got to hope it makes some money.
And Ziegler was like, I think people are so vocal about it because they're just so passionate about the original, subject matter and the original story. And boy, it's really great and really a privilege to be a part of something that so many people are so passionate about. And I was like, that's one way to spin it.
I read that quote. That means that Rachel Ziegler sat with the Disney PR team and they're like, we got to get you out of this. Here's what we want you to say. Okay, I'll try to say that, but it's too late.
No riffing. Read it word for word.
Yeah, and it might be a great movie. That's the crazy thing.
That is the thing.
But it's got no shot now.
This is what happened to the Solo story for Star Wars. There was so much behind the scenes bullshit going on with firing this director, firing that director. Remember the guys from Community were involved with it.
Yeah.
And they started it and fucking brought in Ron Howard to finish it.
They're the Lego movie guys.
I know.
They're the Spider-Verse guys.
I know. And it was, I still liked the movie, but there was so much horseshit and bad publicity about behind the scenes stuff. The stuff we talk about on a weekly basis, that there was no chance that this thing was ever going to have success. It could have been fucking Citizen Kane and nobody was going to go see it.
Right. I read that they project this movie to make $58 million, and they're calling that a bomb.
Because it cost them like over $100 million to make this.
Because it cost them that much to make, yeah.
This was delayed how many times? How many rewrites? Remember when we first announced the story? It was going to be Snow White and the 7 magical creatures.
Yeah.
It wasn't even going to be the 7 dwarves.
I know. When the trailer came out, all of a sudden there were poorly CGI dwarves, but they had stills of the 7 magical creatures. We saw them.
Boo! You stink!
Here it comes. It's going to come out. We're going to see what happens.
Comes out Friday?
Any day now. Any day now.
This thing's getting delivered to be a turkey, man.
Oh, man. You spend all this time on this and somebody opens their mouth and ruins everything. It's a scary world out there with social media. Anybody can say anything. More of this is going to happen. The more you give young people the microphone and social media and put them in movies, they're going to say something that's going to rub people the wrong way, older people the wrong way.
Yeah, but it's not even just older people. Like it's just everything's so fucking polarized. You know what I mean?
I know the first thing that Rachel Ziegler said that I heard, it actually went, ooh, that's a little, it's calling Prince Charming a stalker.
A stalker, yeah. I ain't going to have a prince save me. She's going to become the leader that she was born to be.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Nothing like shit talking. Honestly, very truthfully, Walt Disney's favorite movie that he ever put out was Snow White. And you're shit talking it.
Yeah.
Actually, Cinderella may have been his favorite. Either way, it was one of the very first ones that built this company that hired you to do this live action bullshit. And that's what you come out with?
Yeah. Oof. Oofa toofa. Is every Disney movie that was a cartoon now a live action? What could be left?
Aristocats? Maybe?
Maybe.
The Rescuers Down Under?
Oh, I guess there isn't one of those, but why not? I'm sure it's on the docket.
God damn. Everything else pretty much has, right?
Yeah. Moana, I think they're making a live.
Remember the original that they redid in live action? Going back to the 90s?
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, very first one, Glenn Close doing 101 Dalmatians.
That was the first live action.
I think so. It wasn't part of this like revival bullshit that they're doing now, but that was when they took a Disney story and did it live action. And it was done really well, I thought.
There was never a Cinderella, was there?
Yeah, they did. The girl that played on Downton Abbey was Cinderella.
When was that made?
During the pandemic, I think.
Oh. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Aladdin?
Beauty and the
that
Beast, Aladdin got redone. And that got some shit too because it used people from different ethnic backgrounds and they didn't use like Middle Eastern actors and actresses.
I just remember Will Smith was the genie, and that was terrible. That looked terrible. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
What about Mulan?
Mulan came out, and that got controversial because the girl that came out was talking about free Tibet. So there was like Asian politics involved in that.
Damn, Disney cannot win.
Yeah, or it was free Hong Kong. They wanted Hong Kong under outside of Chinese control. There was some kind of Asian politics in there that people really got pissed off about.
I was going to say, what about Hercules? But Kevin Sorbo? Clearly that was...
They didn't redo Hercules, though.
Because it was already perfectly done by Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, but it didn't have Danny DeVito playing the Pip guy.
Oh, right. How about the Hunchback of Notre Dame? They never made that.
No, they didn't. But the funny thing there is that the Hunchback of Notre Dame was based off of a book and a novel and other movies that came out beforehand.
That's true. That's flipped.
It was flipped.
They flipped the script on that one. Clever. Well, good luck to you, Disney.
Yeah.
You need some hits. I mean, you haven't been knocking them out of the park lately.
Who put this thing out? Kathleen Kennedy?
Maybe. Oh, this one makes me laugh. So there's a lot of things now for rock bands, especially older rock bands, to give you a fan experience. You know, you can go and spend a lot of money and get the... I was going to do this actually recently with Dweezil Zappa.
Are you going to talk about Tool?
No.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
Let's do that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So there was a fan experience, and I remember it being, a couple extra $100, and I could go to the Dweezil Zappa concert, and after it, I could meet Dweezil, and I could get a picture taken with one of Frank Zappa's guitars. I'm a huge Frank Zappa fan, so that was a big deal, but it was a couple $100 extra.
Sure.
Not too bad. But for $12,495,
I feel like this is going to be Gene Simmons.
This is Gene Simmons.
I fucking knew it with a price tag like that. I fucking knew it.
You get the chance for $12,495 to be Gene Simmons' personal assistant and a roadie for one of his shows.
You get to pay to work.
You get to pay to work for the man.
Fuck that guy.
Could you imagine? You paid $12,495, and the guy puts you to work.
Fuck that.
Isn't that crazy?
It's very much on brand for Gene Simmons.
Like, you're literally sweating with the roadies, bringing things off of trucks.
So when's Amy's brother gonna have his roadie gig?
I don't know if he knows
because he's like
about
the only
it.
person I know that would be like a huge enough fan to do that kind of horse shit.
There's only one person in the world who would come up with this idea and go, yeah, this is a good idea. And it's Gene Simmons.
Absolutely.
I mean, he loves to make money off this Kiss, but I still can't imagine somebody doing this. But he's got 12 shows from what I read, so he's offering it to 12 different people. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, this is a guy that came up with Kiss coffins.
He did come up with Kiss coffins.
I know.
There are people buried in Kiss coffins.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's the first person, I think, ever to take a rock band and monetize it, commercialize it, quite like, he did. And I don't even know if there's any band that's ever come close to doing that.
Yeah. And are you even roadieing for Kiss, or are you just carrying around Gene Simmons shit?
Just Gene Simmons shit.
Because the rest of the band kind of broke up.
They're kind of done.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Wouldn't it be great if nobody paid for this and he's screwed?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be a riot. He's got to carry his own gear. Well, I didn't think this one through.
He was probably like, well, this is what it came down to. Nobody else wants to work for me anymore because I'm a dickhead.
Yeah. What's the Tool thing? I saw a headline.
You know how bands do like cruises?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go out on the cruise ship and it's sponsored by, I don't know, Def Leppard or whomever. There's always like cruises where you can like go and kind of the same deal, meet the band, do that kind of shit.
There's hair metal cruises that my buddy Paul and I talk about every year going on.
Really?
I'm just like, am I that big a fan? I kind of am. I think about it every year.
Well, Tool did this thing down in Mexico at a resort. So land-based, but still kind of the same deal. And they had Coheed and Cambria there. They had a handful of bands there. I don't have the story in front of me, but it wasn't just Tool. But they were, of course, the headliner of their own music show. It was a 2-night festival, and they came out first night, played their set. Everything was fantastic. Played about 9 songs. People were happy. Now, most of their fans are U.S. based, so people have spent like thousands of dollars, maybe $10,000 to travel down there to see them and buy tickets and do this whole thing. Now, data suggests that there weren't that many single night tickets, but like single night tickets weren't sold out. So you figure most people that were there one night were there for the whole festival. They went night 1, they went night 2. Tool comes out night 2 and plays almost an identical set.
No way.
So there's like a class action lawsuit. People were like, we were promised 2 different sets of music. Now I don't know what they promised going into it, but why would you play the same set night 1 and night 2? You think you were doing like a 2-night stint at like the Vet or like Hershey Stadium, or like different people were coming out and you didn't owe them anything different? This is a music festival. People camp out there and shit. They're at the resort. They're going to see the same show twice.
Oh my God.
People were throwing shit. People were irate.
I'd probably be irate.
Fucking A.
It's a lot of money. Then you get the second show, you're like, they're just playing the same damn thing.
On the other hand, I have to sit back and think, as a Tool fan, after a while, all their music sounds the same anyways, so maybe they thought people wouldn't notice.
Wow, that is stupid.
Yeah.
So, and they never thought, well, it's not like they're going to sue us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are.
Sounds like they're putting together a class action
I saw
suit.
there's already one out there, yeah.
Damn, that's what that's about.
That's what that's about.
It's got to be hard to be a band like Fish or something like that, where everybody follows you around. You're like, I got to give a new set to every single, show.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lot easier when you're playing the same set over and over. But yeah, they really didn't think this one through.
Speaking of Fish, in addition to my bands playing other genre music, that deep dive I went on this past week, I also got really into the NPR Tiny Desk concerts.
I've seen some of those.
I saw Fish play one. And
Really?
It was really good. Yeah, they played You Enjoy Myself off of their first album, Junta.
Shit.
It was fucking good.
That's a hard song to play. I've tried to play it.
I was impressed watching them play it live in the Tiny Desk area. It was great.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Billy Strings?
Yeah, I watched him a little bit too this week.
I guess he's getting big now. He's been around for a while.
Was he like a America's Got Talent guy or something? I saw him up on stage on most of the videos I saw him playing, and I didn't know if it was his own concert, but he'll play like really difficult guitar licks and shit.
Well, he's a bluegrass guy.
Yeah,
He's a picker.
yeah.
And Amy and I were watching him the other day, and he's playing like he played a Fish song. He played a couple Alice in Chains songs. I heard him do a but
I watched a Black Crowes Tiny Desk concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this guy, we're watching and we're like, this is a young guy. He's probably 30.
Yeah.
Right? And he's playing all the music that his dad was playing around the house.
Yeah.
So now we're at that stage, I'm just turned 50 and I'm watching these people play Alice in Chains like it's cool. And people are in love with it. And it's cool. It's like our old music is getting a resurgence.
Yeah.
And this guy did a pretty good job of it. And then, YouTube was showing me some other band that's brand new that I've never heard of, and they were doing You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette. And it's like all our old music is getting a little bit of a resurgence right now in the rock scene.
It's a renaissance.
And I don't even think you call Billy Strings a rock guy. He's not, but he's hanging out in the rock scene. It seems like music is really blended right now.
Very much, yeah. I would agree with that.
I just heard, Beyonce, I guess she won some Grammys for the country thing.
Yeah.
But apparently her tour isn't selling.
No.
Yeah. Her and Katy Perry, apparently just cannot sell tickets. But the music scene right now, the whole industry is so upside down. Who knows what people like? Young people who are going to these concerts, they're so enamored by the stuff they're seeing in social media that I don't think these big acts really phase them anymore.
I think anybody that was going to go to a concert this year, they're all tapped out from going to 15 different versions of the Eras tour over the past year for Taylor Swift, so they're fucking broke.
Yeah, that was a monster tour.
Fucking A.
How long of a break do you think she needs to take until she's like, all right, I'm ready to work. I'm so music down. I don't even want to sing a song.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
But they got to get right back to it. Remember Def Leppard Hysteria? That took like 8 years to come out.
Yeah.
And it was like, if this thing's not a hit, you guys are in a lot of trouble because you had 8 years of spending all the money you made from Pyromania.
And it was fucking huge.
And it was huge. It was a good gamble. But yeah, you got to keep on putting out music. You can't take breaks for very long.
Nobody would be suing Taylor Swift if she came out and played the same set 2 nights in a row.
No?
I don't think so.
They love her too much.
Yes, they do.
But like Katy Perry, she was the biggest thing for a minute, and then she took a break, and now she's like, nobody cares.
She's done a lot of different, I don't want to say different genres. It's all been pop, but like some of it was brighter than the other stuff, and then it got kind of dark with Dark Horse, and yeah, my kids listen to her stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything since the old days.
California Girls?
Yeah, that's about the last song I know from Katy Perry. Well, since we're talking about musicians, why don't we end with this last story? Have you heard about the controversy between Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins
And Bill Burr?
and Bill Burr?
I have.
This is fascinating.
This came out on the Howie Mandel podcast.
That's right.
Howie Mandel does stuff.
What do you know about it?
I know that there is an off chance that they are half brothers.
Right.
Because Billy Corgan's father possibly fathered maybe like 12 other siblings that Billy Corgan didn't know about.
Right.
But he passed away in 2021, I think. So there's no... But they actually talked about doing like a DNA test. And Bill Burr was pissed that he was like, hey, the fact that I didn't talk about this, you think maybe you should have shut your fucking mouth up about it?
Right. All right. So to fill it in a little bit. So, yes. So Billy Corgan's father was a touring musician.
Yes.
And he sired all these kids. And then Billy Corgan knew about that. And his father said, I will leave a note for you when I die who all your half-brothers are.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
But he didn't do it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So basically, Billy Corgan saw Bill Burr and said, wow, he looks exactly like my father.
Yeah.
And he started putting it together.
Well, people used to be like, oh, hey, Bill Burr. And it was like, no, it's Billy Corgan. Like, I think Howie Mandel was like, oh, hey, Bill Burr. And he was like, oh, how'd you hear about that story? And he was like, what story? And then he told him the story, and that's how the whole thing came to the Howie Mandel podcast.
I don't see the similarity other than the bald head.
No, I saw a still photo of the two of them, and I was like, holy fuck, they do look stunningly alike.
So when Howie Mandel asked Billy Corgan, hey, can you come on the show? Bill Burr's on.
He ambushed him. Yeah.
Right. So Billy Corgan even says to Howie Mandel, oh, is Bill Burr cool with it if we talk about this? Because Bill and I have never really talked about this.
And he thought it was cleared, and Howie never cleared it, and kind of just like it was like, oh, we have a surprise guest.
Yep. It's a great episode.
Bring him out. Here comes fucking Maury Povich.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Man, it is one of the cringiest things to listen to for this year.
It was cringy to fucking read the story and like the recap. I was like, ooh.
Bill Burr was furious.
He was.
And you heard how angry he was when he's like, oh, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing?
He's like an angry fucking Boston guy, you know?
But they're asking Billy Corgan still about it. They're like, so is he your half-brother? He goes, well, we've never done a DNA test. And he goes, I don't think he is. I think it's a good story, but I don't think he is. Yeah, you do. You know it is. Everybody wants you to take this DNA test and find out.
Yeah. God damn. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be the weirdest coincidence?
It would be wild.
That two famous people happen to be, related.
Yeah.
From completely different universes.
Yeah, because like I said, Bill Burr grew up in Boston and Billy Corgan grew up in Illinois, like outside Chicago.
I was trying to find information from Bill Burr about, because this is the kind of drama I love.
You're invested in this?
Yeah. I don't know if Bill Burr has ever talked about his father.
The story that I read, the article, mentioned that his father, I think his dad's still alive.
But if Billy Corgan's dad is dead, then this can't be true.
Well, it could just be the guy that raised him. It doesn't have to be his biological father.
Yeah, good point. Bill Burr was just on NPR the other day doing an interview, and all I can think about is, are you Billy Corgan's brother?
I watched a Billy Corgan fucking Tiny Desk concert.
Did you?
I watched a lot of music on YouTube this week, man. It's funny how it all tied together on this show that we had no fucking topic for.
We had no topic until about an hour before we started recording it. See how we pull it all together.
It's just like a fucking magic show we do here.
Yep.
And with that, it came to a crashing end.
That's right. With me ripping up the crumple in the paper.
That's how I know it's time to say thank you for listening. Tell a friend. This, again, we're back to it. Stupid. Strangely satisfying. If you didn't hear about it before, now you heard of Japanese Spider-Man and his Megazord. Well, thanks for listening again, and we'll talk to you next week.